Hey there, my royal family. This is Zion with Rock Life with Zion. Thank you for rocking with me. Oh my gosh, I have a wonderful, wonderful guest tonight. I want to wait till some of you guys come on here, but we have Baroness Monica von Neumann. Oh my gosh, she is fantastic. We could get up close and personal with her. If you have any questions, she's going to talk about the royal life, royal living. And trust me, this story you definitely want to hear. And I'm just going to wait a little bit here so we can get people in. Hey, Ron, how you move? Thank you for joining. Thank you for rocking with me. We have a fantastic story for you guys. And I'm telling you, I love her. She is so awesome. Her story is so awesome. And I'm sure you can appreciate her, where she come from, what she's doing now, and what she have done in her past. It's just a wonderful, wonderful story. Thank you for joining, David. Go ahead and share. Let everybody come over and find out the life of royalty. Royalty at its best. Beautiful Monica, the Baroness Monica von Neumann. Come on through. Come on and be a part of this. Now I want everybody to know that this right here is going to be taped. So come on, Monica. Hey, there she is. Hey, how are you?
Hi, everybody. Hi, honey. How are you?
Oh, awesome.
Good to
awesome.
see you.
Mwah. You know how we do it.
Yes, we got to do both. Yeah, honey.
This is the beautiful Monica Van Neumann. Oh my
you're
God,
so
Van
sweet.
Neumann.
Thank you,
And
honey.
I'm so glad that you have taken this time to come out and allow me to
Oh,
talk
it's my
to you
pleasure.
about, okay? And I love it because, you know, royalty rocks, right?
Yeah, royalty does rock.
That's right. That's right. So I just want to go on a little bit. And everybody, I want you to go ahead and share because this beautiful lady right here, I am just so excited. Okay.
You got me excited to be here, okay?
I am so excited and so many wonderful things I just plan to do with her because she rocks, okay? If you know anything about Monica, she was born, Monica Ford, in Detroit to a working class family, to LA, from Detroit, from LA, right? At the age of 5, she moved to LA.
Came to LA at 5.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about that yourself.
Well, you know, my mother followed the whole troop over with Motown, you know. I think a lot of people in Michigan, when Motown left, you know, it was kind of like, go west, my child, go west, that kind of thing. And my mother was one of them. She was a model and an actress, and she said, that's it, I'm going west. And that's it. We came to LA, and I was 5 years old, and I adapted really, really fast.
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
It's about beach life and Mexican food, and everything changed. It went from chitlins to Mexican food and let's see, tofu.
Tofu's like a variety. A variety.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. So your mom actually did she act and so
She she did some acting and modeling.
Really? So you were born into doing some of those things.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was. I was born into that. She was a part of a clique in LA that was pretty advanced, I guess, in the clique. You know, the Beverly Hills clique, the Hollywood clique, whatever it was. You know, she was in the mix.
Yes. Well, beauty is in the genes, as we can say.
Thank you.
I love it. Now, her passion as a child was dancing.
Dance
right?
was, yes. I wanted to be the best ballet dancer, and then I realized, no, let's try to be the best jazz dancer. And then I realized you get injured and your life is cut short. So, yeah, I mean, as far as the dancing goes, that was my obsession.
Dancing. And you studied dancing.
Yeah, I did. I studied, I took it pretty seriously.
And what type of dance?
Jazz.
Jazz, really? Oh my
Modern
God.
jazz. I was
go, girl.
Yeah, I still have some moves.
Okay, so, and then I hear, you got moves? Wait a minute.
I got moves, yeah.
Go ahead.
Jazz hands, the whole thing, you know, I'm going to go there, no way.
I love it.
I might injure something now.
That's cute.
Yeah.
No, you still can, don't get it
I
twisted.
still got it. Okay.
Yes, and you know what I love too? I heard the age of 15, he was at the Roland Dupree Dance Academy.
Yeah, that's where I went.
Yeah, so you took dance for quite a while.
I took dance for a really long time, I mean, it was something I really thought I was going to do professionally. And I did get some work, you know, because it was, you know, still a small community of dancers. Not like New York City. LA is like, there's dancers and they're just all in this one corner or hub of LA, you know.
Right.
So they kind of go, you know, casting goes to a couple dance people and that's it. And so I did get some work, but it didn't pay well. And like I said, I was getting injured.
Right. But you know what? But you were.
But I loved it. Yeah.
You loved it, and you was beautiful while you did it. Right.
Yeah.
So that's all that matters, because you know what?
Mm-hmm.
She was a dancer.
Yeah.
And toured with the late
Nina
singer,
Simone came. She was doing a Southern California tour, and they wanted some nice girls in the background, which was rare for Nina Simone, you know. Mm-hmm. But she had a band, and I just loved it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know who she was. I had no clue. By the way, and she's one of my favorite singers, period, of all time now. Wow. I didn't appreciate it as much then because I was so young. Yes. It was like, I'm just happy to be on stage, you know. I was just happy to be there. Wow. But now she's one of my favorites. So then you dance, and then you are a former model, just like walking in your mom's footsteps. Yeah, I tried it. I went to Paris when I was 17, and I was a fit model for Dior, and I did some stuff for Yves Saint Laurent. You didn't have to be a giant back then. Mm-hmm. You could be 5'7" and be fine, you know? Oh, no. Mm-hmm. And I did that, and I hated it. Oh, no. Are you serious? So I hated modeling. No, I didn't like it because it was like everybody poking at you. My mom loved it. Mm-hmm. But you have to be that kind of person, and I was more of a motion person, into movement and things like that, you know? So sitting there and having pictures taken was not cutting it for me. So what did you find out that you loved doing? I was just very creative. I mean, I love design more than I think anything, you know. Mm-hmm. I love travel, and I love design, and I love writing, and I love painting, and I'm more of a creative person, I think, when it comes to that kind of stuff. Multiple talents. Yeah, right? Well, I try. I don't know how many of them I do well. I just do them. Yeah. Right. And being able to do it. Because that's why I always tell my audience, it's so important to be able to do what you love to do. Yeah, you know, and take a chance. Yes. You know, I think it's important that you have that outlet, you know, that creative outlet. You know, a lot of us don't think of ourselves as painters. I never went to school for art, and I'm not so bad. So it's important that, you know, and I like trickling with a little piano and, you know, just broadening my horizons no matter what, and taking a chance. Wow. Mm-hmm. Well, as you know, the beautiful Monica is so wonderful is that she came from Detroit. Her mom just had the faith and just jumped and just went on, you know, made that leap, because that's what's important. When you really want to do something in life, you got to make that leap. You might not see it, but you have to feel it and trust in it. And and she was able to be in some very great places, you know what I'm saying, knowing people that she never thought she would ever meet, right? Yeah, true. Yeah. No, I mean, to say I stumbled into it, I think I kind of did, even though I was around certain surroundings. But no, my mom was very advanced, a very positive person, and always said, you know, I could be what I wanted to be. I could do what I wanted to do, to think outside of the box, that never let anybody put me in, pigeonhole me in any way. You know, if I had fantasies and dreams, think about them, picture them, manifest them, and just enjoy. And she was a little bit hippy-dippy, so that helped. Right. You know what I mean? You know, with the tofu and the whole thing, it went along with everything, and it worked out. Tofu? I'm just saying, we were vegetarians, and, you know. Oh, yeah, I was raised, well, my mom, she was like, that's it, we're in California, we're vegetarians. Right. Instantly. Oh, my God. And I love a hamburger, forget it. Now I'm like, I'm not a vegetarian right now, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. But I was raised a vegetarian because she, you know, she had decided before then. No, I was not. It was all ham hocks, fried chicken, and everything else. Gosh. And my family, half my family's from New Orleans, so you can imagine when it comes to food. Well, thank God for deliverance. Yeah. For sure. Who wants to eat chitlins? Yeah, I can have a salad. Exactly. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Because it's better for you, of course. Much better for you. But yeah, so she got really broad. She had a different way of thinking, you know, which was good. She didn't just, you know, think, well, we can't, you know, this is it. You know, Detroit is it, and I love Detroit. Don't get me wrong. I mean, those are my people. Right, of course. And, you know, it's just got the grit. It's got the greatness. It's going to come back. Yeah. It's going to be better than ever. And no matter what, it still has what it is, which is that flavor and that soul. It's a place that's just for strong people. Tell me about it. Strong and talented people. Yes. You know? Now, if you were to describe your mom, because trust me, I mean, she seemed to be an anchor, you know, with you, and a strong woman. Yeah, she's very strong. So I just, for some reason, drawn to ask you just a little bit about her, you know, what you've seen her as. You know, I mean, she was an artist as well. You know, my mom's a writer. She's a very talented writer. She's written a couple books, and she's just getting ready to publish something now. And she loved to travel. Our whole life was about, well, I mean, my mom was the type, you're going to go camping. Like, Black people don't really camp.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Especially back
then. Okay. And my mom had friends and we all went camping,
it.
we're going rock climbing, She was like all for that,
Right.
She just was
Wow.
always living outside of the box, and also thinking about what was out there. She always said, if there's another world out there that you need to see.
Right.
And it's the same thing I told my daughter, and the same thing I've told young people when I work with them, that, broaden your horizons, don't just put yourself in this travel, and I don't mean you have to travel luxury. I mean, just travel, like take a train, go somewhere, see something, you don't have to live locked into where you're from. You're not always what you eat. You're not always where you come from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're right. And so, but did you have siblings? Gosh, you seem like an only child.
I am an only child.
Oh my God, I felt it. Okay.
No, I do have I do have two half brothers.
But did they grow up with you?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
I can feel it.
Yeah, that only child vibe. Yeah.
Yes,
definitely.
Because I was raised the only
Okay,
child.
yeah, you can tell about us, huh? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, I mean, this is very interesting. So tell me about in the late 80s, you were introduced by singer Sonny Bono.
Oh, I was chased by Sonny Bono.
No, yeah. I always mess up right there.
Well, I was a dancer and I was running around LA and I went to a party and it was a luncheon and with friends, and this little man just wouldn't leave me alone.
Really?
And
he was. Well, tell me. Do you remember the first time he came up to you? Like, because you said he was living like. Well, I mean, what was he saying? What was he doing?
Well, he had that voice.
Oh, right.
But Sonny Bono. What people don't realize, I don't know if they do, but Sonny Bono had a Pygmalion complex. When he got with Cher, she was like 17. Pygmalion is the story of like My Fair Lady. That same kind of idea where you see a young girl and she doesn't have it all together, but a guy comes in and he has this whole obsession with like changing who she is and turning her into like from a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Oh, wow.
And he had that thing, and he saw me and he knew I was a dancer, and he knew, he was like, oh, you could model, you can do all these things. And I was like, Right. No. But he was a wonderful man. He became a great friend. We dated for a moment, but it wasn't in the stars.
Right. Of course, because then we wouldn't have him and
Cher. Well, him and Cher were before me.
Are you serious?
Obviously.
Okay.
Cher's older than me.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
Don't tell nobody.
Okay. I know her plastic surgery is good, but it's not that good.
I know. Oops.
I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
I love me some Cher though. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
she's a girl's girl.
Oh,
yeah, she's really great.
Right.
I've met her and she's amazing. Yeah.
Okay, and she likes you too.
Yeah, she's fun. She's a great woman.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But
he taught me a lot. He was a really, really good friend and really great man. Really nice. And I wouldn't have met my husband if it wasn't for him.
That's what I wanted to go to. I mean, but I wanted to say that before I go there, it's like, what's the wonderful part about it is that he was a kind of guy that seemed like, how we asked for a forest and God gave us an acorn. So,
exactly.
Like, what's
exactly.
this? What am I do with this?
Yeah.
Like, and it is the forest, and that was like him. He like can see something in you.
Yeah,
and
he
willing
could.
to make it
yeah,
great.
he could. I think he could. Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
And because of him, he introduced you to
my husband,
to Baron John. Yes. And so tell us a little bit about him.
Wow. There's a lot to tell.
Yes.
No, I don't know how to describe it except for that we were meant to be. One, he saw something in me special. Two, he was very complex, really, really intelligent to the point of no return. I mean, obviously I had daddy issues because he was older than me, but he also just had like a walking encyclopedia.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Plus he had swag. Like, he had a lot of swag. Yeah, he did.
Ooh, swag.
Oh, no, he did. Oh, yeah, he was all about,
Okay. Because he's from Australia.
No, no, he's Austria, which is like next to Germany. And so, he was about the soul music. He was about, he could dance. He had to have that coming for me.
Hello.
He did. And he flew his little red jet. By himself, and he picked me up in a red jet.
Okay,
yes.
Not his red Corvette.
No,
but his
the red jet.
I love it.
It was great. It's like he had me at the red jet. Okay, with the cowboy boots and like really slick back hair and the whole thing. He knew what he was doing.
Hello.
Yeah, he worked it. Yeah.
Now, okay. So when you met him, you guys were at a Palm Springs
Party, yeah.
Okay. So how did he approach you?
Oh, he just kept smiling at me, and I thought he was a perv, and I just told my friends, why is that guy staring at me? And I just wanted to run.
Really?
Yeah.
And did he finally have the nerve to come up?
Yeah, I mean, it was like not for a couple months later, because we knew people in that same crowd, and but then he was smiling at me, but no, not right away.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh,
yeah, and he just kept poking, telling people, where is she? Like, where is that one? Where is she?
Right.
And I just like, why are you staring at me? It was really cute.
Well, and then finally, I mean,
finally, no, he brought it. Oh yeah, he brought it. He was just like, yeah, he brought it. I think the weirdest thing, and I tell people about Destiny, it's so crazy because he pretty much said to me within the first few months of knowing him, like not even knowing him that well, but he said, I have a feeling I'm going to marry you.
Wow, really?
And I was like, you're crazy.
Was that on the first night or?
No, there's a few times. Yeah, he was like, I think I'm gonna marry you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're gonna be my wife. I was like, you are crazy.
Oh my! And then so when you met him and you guys went on a few dates, what was the first date he took you on?
Like I said, I met him at Van Nuys Airport for some reason. He said to me, let's go to dinner. I'm flying in. Can you meet me at Van Nuys Airport? And I said, oh, he goes, I have a friend. They'll pick you up. And I went to Van Nuys Airport. And I'm like waiting, and there's like a glass area where it's kind of enclosed, and it's not LAX, it's Van Nuys Airport, and there he goes. He flies in the plane, yeah, the red jet, the Lear jet, mind you, okay, and he literally gets out of the, and no co-pilot, just him, and I mean it's a serious jet, like it's fast, okay. And he comes walking down. They say, hello, let's go to dinner. Like, yeah, look, you got it going on. Like,
well, like, hey.
Okay, not even a pilot or co-pilot, just him. You're like, put it in park.
And so how often did he take you on this little ride?
All the time.
Then I know it's like, and did you, I mean, like.
Loved it.
Oh my gosh, girl, let me tell you, I'm looking for a little
I mean, that got me. That was a good one. You got to admit, if you're going to be a player like that.
Be real about
that was some serious balling, man. Like.
Not only was he balling, he had experience.
Yes, he did.
He
knew how to fly that jet and race cars. He was a speed demon anyway. Oh yeah, he was an adrenaline junkie. Yeah. So he was a total adrenaline junkie, and it was all about speed.
Okay, well, let's talk about speed. Let's talk about speed, okay? Yeah. Because how long did you know him before you guys got married?
We got married within a year.
Within a year, because he knew.
Yeah, that was it.
Like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. See, that's love. Like you said, destiny.
Yeah, destiny.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? So that's beautiful.
Yeah, no, it was wonderful. Yeah.
So just talk a little bit about him. Baron John von Neumann was the first importer
for Volkswagen. Porsche, Volkswagen. And he was an engineer. So, I mean, he designed cars because he started off racing when he was younger. And I guess a lot of aristocrats, if they blow through their money and they're like, oh, what do I want to do? Race cars. You know what I mean? It's kind of a rich man sport back in the day. And so, but then he parlayed it into something further by being the person that raced for Porsche, raced for Ferrari, and decided to come to the West Coast here to the States and import them because a lot of people didn't have those cars,
Right.
And all the actors like James Dean, everybody wanted like fast cars, and John was the one who's like, I got fast cars, but he raced them himself, and he said, well, why don't I import them? And that's how that came about. So he worked with Ferrari, he designed Ferraris.
Oh wow.
He was, like I said, an engineer, so he knew about engines and so on and so forth. And he went to Volkswagen, and he also did the same with Porsche and said, you know what? I think these would work in the States. And they were like, I don't think so. And he was like, yeah, I think so. And he was right.
Wow. Oh, my God.
He was right.
And they're still bringing them over.
And they're still bringing them over.
And how was the life with someone like that? Just so smart, educated, just full of fun and all that.
He was just a wonderful human being. He was really philanthropic, fun, silly, a lot more immature than me. I was the mature one between you and I.
But it kept you laughing.
Yeah, it kept me laughing. But no, I mean, a lot of travel. A lot of travel, like I said, of broadening my horizons. I got to go around the world several times and go places, and see things that people were going through. And it made me really learn and grow, because I went everywhere. I dealt with, places that were obviously poverty stricken and education wise and so on. And that was very important to him, was to give back.
Right.
And to say to me, look around you, don't just live in here, because when you're younger, you live in here, you're living here, all about you, all about you, all about you, all about me. And I got to see and say, wait a minute, it isn't all about me. Like, there's people out there that need help. There's things going on besides my own family and life. I'm not saying that, but I mean like real stuff. You know what I mean? So I got to see some gritty stuff, and traveling to Vietnam, to Burma, to Thailand, to Africa, and all over the place,
Yes.
And then I found out we're so much more alike than we're not alike. Even though we're different, we're pretty much the same, you know?
Wow.
So that was great. That was the thing about him. He wanted me always to know what was out there and what was going on in the world.
Oh, I love that. Now, also, you also attended a Swiss finishing school.
Yeah, I had to do that before. I mean, I had to pass the test.
Right.
It's not like I could sit up and eat that chicken bone, like,
Right, listen, what
I couldn't sit up at the chitlins and stinking the house up and going, honey, where's the hot sauce? I mean, I had to pass that test. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, I mean, he wanted me to be prepared. He wanted me to know, understand, and he wanted me to be educated. He wanted me to feel secure around his friends, around his group, around our life. And he didn't want to send me in there not prepared. You know what I'm saying? He's like, look, I want you to have all the tools.
That's beautiful.
Because I love you and I know it's there. Right. It's just that if I give you all the tools, you'll feel more secure.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so what did you study and how long did you study?
Oh, honey, everything.
Everything.
Languages to how to, host things, and down to how to eat peas without looking stupid. Like how to eat chicken without looking stupid and not eat it the fried chicken way. I mean, obviously, there was like the serious proper way, and there was just, in Europe, there's just, if you eat a 5-course or 10-course meal, you got to know what to do.
Exactly.
And you can't sit there and do that. So that's what you learn.
See, that's awesome, because I know if I probably pick up the wrong fork.
Most people would, though.
Punching on some ice.
Yeah, most people would. Yeah, but you know what? Like you said, you should be able to eat with a king or a pauper. I tell young people, like, table manners, that doesn't cost money to learn some table manners.
Right.
It
doesn't.
You
can get that on Google.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, no, but it doesn't cost money to educate yourself.
Yes.
Because you just never know when you need to pull that out of the hat, when you're sitting there. And I eat a sandwich like a sandwich, but it's more than that. It's just he wanted me to be able to be comfortable.
Yes.
And for him to be proud and me to be proud and to say, I'm not going to just throw you into the lion's den, because it was a lion's den based on my race, based on him, based on everything. There are people expecting me to be just like a fool.
Right.
Right.
And like you said, it makes you feel comfortable and confident about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
and I felt comfortable, I felt at ease.
Yeah.
And got to know a lot of really great people, because it really is more about that in Europe than it is here. It's not so much the color of your skin, but really how you carry yourself.
Right.
And the content, everything that's in here, you know.
Well, he was a very supportive husband.
Yeah, he was really supportive.
I know what you mean, the swag.
A lot of that,
yeah.
He was very supportive.
Cares, he's silly, he's funny, you know what I'm saying? And it's good to be the mature one time, because it's good because you guys knew how to mesh.
Yeah, we did.
And that was very important.
We worked it really well that way, Really, that was the great thing about it. He's gone way too soon for me, obviously, for my taste. But I definitely... like when I think now, like how can I can't hold a candle to that?
No, I know, right? When you had the best, where can you go from there? I know exactly.
It's a tough one.
Exactly.
That's why I'm not looking.
You're not looking. I know. Let me tell you, if you think you can touch the royalty right here, you got to be like highly qualified.
You don't have to be an aristocrat. You don't have to be royal, though. You don't have to be royal. You just have to be decent, and that's not easy to come by, and have that integrity
days, right?
Yes, and I don't get as pressed as easily just by the stuff that's so material. Like we were blessed and we've had wonderful material lives, and you have homes and cars and all that stuff, but that doesn't hold it all together,
right? And it's about friendship. And it's about, like, he was like
My best friend.
Yes,
He was
you know
my
what I
best friend.
mean? And he cared about how
Yeah.
you felt. And even love, it was just like he was just there to support you in every area,
Yeah.
physically, mentally, emotionally,
Yeah, he
financially,
was.
every area. And let me
Yeah.
tell you, I want one.
You
I
want
want one. I want one. Well, you gotta tell me how to get one of those like that.
We'll talk later.
Yes, oh yes.
Or tune in for next week. No, I'm kidding.
Show over.
Tune in for next week, okay?
Hello.
Ladies, they'll be back. They'll be like, wait a minute.
We're gonna have her on to talk to the ladies, okay? So she can talk about how
we'll talk.
Yes, because we ladies, of course, of loyalty, actually have to have our kings.
Yes.
It's about having a king. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. We have to set our standards.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
And even your husband, he was actually oversaw 20 employees at.
I did.
Yeah. Oh, you did.
No, I was the one running that one.
Oh,
you know, by the time I was 19, I ran 20 employees. He ran hundreds. I ran 20 because he was like, okay, look. Like I said, he threw me in the deep end.
Yes.
He did give me the tools, but I still was so much younger, and I had to show all these people and tell all these people what to do. So imagine, they didn't want to listen to me.
So what was your regular office day? I mean, did you go into an office or you did
No. I ran it, meaning homes, you know, when you have people work for you. And if I went down the list, it would sound like bragging. But my point is
it's just the list.
Well, I mean, I had the crew on the boat. I had the homes. You have housekeepers. You have to keep it running. You know, you got to make sure that everything's done. And I did, and entertaining, and so on and so forth, and being a part of that life. But a lot of it is entertaining.
Wow.
But running it that young, people didn't want to listen to me.
You had it going on, girl.
Yeah, but people didn't want to listen to me at first, so I had to learn.
They didn't take
they were like, whatever.
Yeah,
we're like, no, young and black.
I know. I'll let you say that.
Okay. I was like, they were like,
excuse me. The ego came out.
Yeah, they're like, excuse me.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
and he made them respect you.
He did, but I had to earn that as well.
Right. And how did you do that? Tell me how you did it. Did Detroit come out?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
You know,
a little Detroit came out.
You were like, oh, wait a minute.
There was moments, yeah.
Yes, trust me.
There was moments.
I know about the
Detroit there were moments.
Awesome.
Yeah, it has to come out.
And it was beautiful. You've been with him for a very long time. And you guys were married about 26 years. Yeah. And he passed of cancer in 2003. So tell us a little bit about how that, because you guys were married that long, and how, difficult sometimes it could be when you're, after all.
It was horrible.
Yes.
It was a horrible loss.
Yes.
The illness was horrible because cancer is an awful thing, and brain cancer is an even worse thing. And, thank God I had great people there with us, and, it was a peaceful transition, and we spent quality time together, my daughter, him, and I had Keith Black, who's a great doctor and worked with us.
Oh, I heard of him.
And, the best care in the world, but when it gets you, it gets you. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a really like a shock to the system, a shock to my life, because it was my best friend.
Yeah. And how long was that? I mean, period of time?
It was about an 8-month period.
8 months, okay.
It took to diagnose to passing.
Did he have to take chemotherapy?
No, it was past that. It was it was inoperable. It was like extreme malignant and extremely aggressive form of brain cancer. So it was all about being comfortable and keeping him comfortable, and the whole thing. You have your hospital room in your home, because you just say you want to be home.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then taking care of my daughter and making sure that she's not just enveloped in that, you know what I mean, and all the suffering, but she was aware of it. So it was a trying time. Yeah. So a big loss, put it that way. Yeah, a big loss. Yeah.
And I know it can, always to take you back, because there's a lot of people out there, that's dealing with someone in cancer. I mean, now in certain days we didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, I know.
And it's just like
it's
like
rampant.
every other, right now.
It is.
So what would you tell, those out there? Because I'm sure when he found out, he knew what was in front of him. You knew. How did you guys spend those days of understanding that was in front of you?
Understanding the days that were in front of us was just treasure every last moment. You know what I mean? It becomes really, really important. To, like I said, my daughter was in school, away at school, because we lived here and in Switzerland, and she was going to school in Switzerland at one point. I didn't want my daughter to think, okay, you're just going to be in the Alps and your dad's going to live his last days. So we brought her home. You know what I mean?
Right.
So those things, we just treasure the time we had together, and with friends and family, you know. But as far as that goes, there's nothing that really prepares you for that.
No.
Cancer is awful. And I've had so many friends and family and myself personally and a close friend that have all had cancer. So I've survived cancer myself. And it was a fight. Yeah, it was a fight. It was a fight of my life, and not as severe as most people. I was lucky. He wasn't. And the thing is, he was so smart, and it was the brain. So imagine you're really, really smart. For him, watching him suffer, not being able to no longer think and do like he did, because he was so quick as a whip. You know what I mean? So anybody suffering is know that we can survive it, but definitely I don't think we don't listen to ourselves. Like we don't listen when we're sick. We don't pay attention. No, we don't. Actually, it has to be like to kick our butt. And I think just testing and checking up, getting that every 6 month and 1 year checkup is important. Don't wait until it's like, you know, gnawing at you. You know, get your blood work, get your cholesterol, do all that stuff.
Now, were you around him when that transition happened?
Yes, of course.
And if I can ask you, what is the one thing that stood out to you the most, you know, being there? Is it something that he said?
What stood out the most was I fought to keep him alive. Like I just was on this treadmill of like, he's going to live, he's going to live. And I fought. And at some point, and I don't know if it was God and friends or what, or something came over me and I realized I had to give him permission to go. Because he was hanging in there because he knew how hard it was for me to not have to have him leave me. And the moment I said to him, I went and I remember just laying next to him in the bed and I just said, it's okay, you can go. You know, I just said, you can go, it's okay, it's fine now. And he was gone within like 48 hours of that conversation. So he knew, he hung on, and we fight, and some battles are not ours to win. It was time for him to go. But that was a moment when that was the hard one. I didn't want to say you could go. I was like, no, you ain't going anywhere. Just stay your ass here.
Right. I ain't playing.
I'll prop you up and just sit right there. You know what I mean? So giving him permission to go is the hardest.
But, you know, and it's a surrendering. And that's
surrendering, exactly. And that's hard to do.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't want to be selfish because it's selfish too, you know.
Yeah. But you know, like you said, 26 years, and now you can just really thank God for the 26 years.
Yeah,
I mean, it actually just changed your life, your destiny, everything, and just being grateful for that. And you'll always have those memories in your heart to carry, right?
Yeah, great memories.
Wow. Now after his passing, you started a company, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've always done. I got sick of paying people to decorate homes for me, and I started doing it myself. And before you know it, I started coming up with products that I liked around the home accessories, and I came up with a candle line, and that's done really well. And so for me, products and home accessories was my thing. You know, so that's everything from home scents and fragrances to tablecloths, mats. I'm just obsessed with everything to do with entertaining. And I would spend so much money on these boxes full of this is for the holiday, this is for Thanksgiving, and I obsess. I'm the person that Easter comes, I celebrate Easter. I've got bunny everywhere. I've got all kinds of little eggs. I'm obsessed. So I came up with my own line of things like that basically so you could just decorate on a dime really quick, and for all those people that don't know what to do when they're having a dinner party for 20. And, I don't leave it to everyone else to decorate my table. I do it. So I just fell in love with that. And I love, like I said, candles. I spent lots of money on candles and found all the things I didn't like about them and decided to come up with a luxury candle line. And that's what I love doing is design.
Right. Design.
Design and lifestyle work. I mean, what I do is also based on my travels and write for different travel magazines and design magazines. And, I have a little Black Martha Stewart in me. Yeah, I got a little bit of that bug. Yeah, I do.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That's good. I want to smell some of those candles.
Okay, well, I know, and here we are, and I don't have I have to give you some. No, don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm going to ship you. I'm going to give you some in the next couple of days, so you can like burn it actually on set.
Yeah.
That way, everybody audience will get to see it.
She's putting the whole.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, I'll just give you like a nice little bunch there, and you can say, "Oh, look, there's Monica.
Oh my God,
there's Monica. There's Monica."
I love good smelling stuff.
Yeah, so do I.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah.
Now you're so talented, you know, and like you said, you did so many things when your husband's there. I mean, you actually just ran the home and the business. Just been his support. Has helped me, which is so important. So, and then you also did a pilot for NBC, Telepictures. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, I was hired to do a show called Luxaholics on it. Yeah, that was because it was based on luxury things and the fact that I have homes and travel and all that and lifestyle stuff. Because you know, Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous went off the air, but people still love to be nosy and find out what's going. Like, where'd they get that? And what are they doing? And why are they driving that? And so it was that kind of show. And right when the market came down, in the sense of the stock market, everyone went crazy, and they were like, oh, we don't want to do anything luxury because everybody's going to be pissed at us and because we're going to be insensitive. So we didn't do that show. Instead, they wanted to do a show with me, but it was my own, which is basically kind of the best of everything. And it was just bring it down to the best ice cream, the best sheets. Like, why are these things so expensive, or also why they're the best? You know, everybody wants to know what makes it the best. Why are you going to pay $500 for that set of sheets? Better than this? Why is that better than this? Why are you going to drive that car? You know, what are those shoes? What's so great about it? You know what I mean? And I love answering that because I just get excited over stuff. So I love answering that question or asking that question and then being with the audience and letting them figure it out as well.
Well, that's still a great show.
It's still a great show. I know. I'm sure. You know what? Hello, you've heard it here. Hello. Yes. Okay. You know, and it's really from the simple, like the best cheeseburger, the best everything. And people like that because you know, making choices and understanding the product because the lifestyle is so fast. It is.
People like, that's why people use microwave, and me, I do not say use microwave.
I know.
It's good to know they can go somewhere and you're telling them about this.
I mean, people don't know why a Bentley costs what it costs. You know, they don't realize it takes, I don't know, about a year to do this, and it's all handmade, and it's with leather like this, and it's done like that, and then the paint's like that. I mean, it's ridiculous if you go to a Bentley factory, you know. And I'm not saying everybody should have a Bentley. I'm not saying that that's the car for everyone, but I'm saying people still wonder, well, why the hell would you pay that?
Exactly.
Why? Are you crazy? And still, some people think you're crazy. But my point is, this is why, and that's kind of the show that I've done, and the articles I've written, and then travel-wise, like, you know, traveling on a budget and then traveling not on a budget. Why is that so much more expensive?
And it's important, you know, just like, you know, like you said, the Bentley takes detail, takes time, and then the Chevrolet, you just put it together.
You just assembly line, just go on through there, and it's a good car. It's a look. I'm American. I'm from Detroit, so you know I got to be like for my people. But there is a difference. You know, I mean, a Rolex watch, they make, you know, $25,000 a year, and Audemars Piguet, they make $5,000. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you get why it's so much, you know, more refined, and you know. And
it's good because it's a good sale, to tell you the truth, because you can let people know. It's like, oh, that's why I need to pay more, because a lot of times buying something that's more expensive, it really come to be a little cheaper simply because it lasts longer.
It lasts longer, You know, you notice if you buy like trendy clothes, you ever notice that? And you like buy all the cute little things, and you're like, oh, that's so cute, and it's only $14.99. Well, you're gonna wear it like once, okay? You one summer, and then it's gonna be like falling apart, and you're like
in a hole,
and you're like, okay, that's it. So some things are meant to last for a long time. So invest in quality pieces, but that's basically what it's about, and it pertains to food and everything else too.
Well, I learned that too in my younger time when I was trying to make ends meet. And I remember buying a washer machine and a dryer, and I tried to get the cheap one, and next thing you know, the dryer didn't work. And I was just like in prayer, like, oh my God, are you serious? And like, I got to get money to
what am I going to do?
But it was like, you know what, if you just save and just really good stuff with quality
is so important,
and it will last, and you don't have to trip about that time. You know what I mean? So that's a good lesson to learn. And like I said, that's a great concept for a show.
It is.
And then also I heard in 2013 you was considered to join the Real Housewives.
Of Beverly Hills.
Tell me about that. But you didn't join.
No. I was just a little afraid of being the angry black woman on the show. And at the time, and my daughter really isn't I do things based on also my daughter and what works for us as a family. It's the two of us. And she was like, oh God, no. And then I was thinking also, I would be like the angry black woman. They would edit it. Because they had no women of color. So I'm thinking, oh my God,
would be the only one.
I would be like the one. They would edit me. But then again, also, I don't think I was as much fun because I'm not so crude. Meaning I'm not going to bitch fight with people and you. And that's just not you. Yeah, it's not me, no.
Well, it's like...
I'd walk away. I'm not,
Right. Well, why do you make it like that? That's so
I don't know. I mean, I was going to sit and fight with like 7 women, I don't know, over petty stuff.
Of nothing that's important.
Yeah, I mean, and nothing that would mean... There were so many other things going on in my life that were so much more important that I didn't think that could be a part of my life and didn't want it to.
Do you think they're really arguing on there, or is this just, acting?
No, I think they do. I think that it's a part of the behind the scenes. It's created behind the scenes. So if you have a producer that says, by the way, I heard so-and-so said. So by the time you show up at the restaurant, you're like, bitch.
Look. Hey, that probably was a great thing because you don't want the Detroit to come out.
No, but I would wind up being, like, I'm thinking I would be cool, but watch, I probably wouldn't.
Like, wait a minute.
I probably would be like, I probably would have to check a few people.
You know what? It's best for me to just let you can think that for yourself.
You guys do that.
You say that for yourself.
It wasn't, and my friends are like, are you crazy? I'm like, no, at the time that was just not for me. They haven't like come knocking again, but
would you do it if they knocked again?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Well, you can make your own show.
Yeah, I would rather do that.
So you're in control.
Yeah, I'd rather do that. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think your daughter will love that too.
Yeah, me too. I think so too.
Yes.
I need some substance.
Yeah, it's all about substance this time.
Yeah. And at the time too, I was going back and forth to Africa, and I was like spending a lot of time with children, HIV and AIDS and orphanages and education and those things were like a lot more important. And I just felt kind of like, no, I can't do this.
They're fulfilling.
Yeah.
So you went to Africa on this mission to do those
things,
right?
I have really good friends, and they about 10 years ago decided, very well off and didn't really well in their lives, and they decided that they were going to open orphanages and schools across Africa for children that were abandoned based on, in Africa, when you have HIV or your parents die of HIV or AIDS, I mean, you just kick to the curb. The villages, they basically ostracize the kids, and they're put into orphanages, and it's really bad circumstances. And they went over there and figured that out, and they decided it's called March to the Top. And they basically they climb these mountains like Kilimanjaro and Mount Everest and everything, and they do it for charity, and then they wound up building all these schools and orphanages, which is really amazing cause. And they invited me to join in, and I was like, yeah, I'm there in the trenches. No, we're not talking luxury travel. We're talking about, no, we're not staying in luxury tents. No, it's really, it's down in the,
in the grind.
Yeah, it's in the grind, but it's amazing though.
It is amazing.
Because you know what? They're so bright and beautiful and intelligent human beings with the most amazing spirit people that I've ever known in my life, and I just get so much from it.
Yes, that's awesome. Yeah. And how long were you there? How long?
I've been back and forth. I just stay for a few weeks at a time. And sometimes I stay with the nuns.
Oh my gosh.
That's interesting.
You got to tell us. Just a little spirit. Please tell us about staying with the nuns.
Well, I stayed in the convent because a lot of times the Catholic Church does a lot of work there. And we need places to sleep because we go small villages. And if there's a Catholic church, and some of them, they're blind nuns. There's one. Really? Yeah, there was a church with blind nuns. And the Mother Superior and all of them can see, but some of the other women are blind. But that's besides the point, because they know everything going on. I don't care how blind they are. Blind people, no, they're like, Monica, is that you? And I'm like,
oh, you're serious?
I'm like freaking out. Is that you, Monica? And I'm like, oh my God. So another thing, if you sit with nuns and you have dinner at night after being out all day doing mission work and helping and dealing with all this other stuff, and you come back at night and you're going to have some pasta and sit down and you're in Africa. Now, I'm still an LA girl, so part of me says, oh my God, like, that's something that comes out, but it's blasphemy.
Right.
So can you imagine? I'm sitting there and I would go, oh my God.
No.
Or on occasion, I curse. I do have a potty mouth on occasion. Just not like curse, but you know, words that.
Like a cute one. Right?
Yeah, not the ones, but nuns. So sometimes I would just sit there and I go, I just better shut up. Let me just eat my food and be quiet before I'm going to get like 10 Hail Marys and sent to my room. But I mean, it was a great experience because they really give a lot. Yeah, but it does make you go, oh gosh. Yeah. You feel like you're doing something wrong all day.
But everything's a learning experience. Like
yeah.
You said. And you know, just learning even to discipline our mouths.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and feeling that heat that rises up in our body.
Exactly.
It's like, oh my gosh.
It's like, oh my God, I can't say oh my God.
I know.
So yeah, definitely. But what a great experience. And the children are amazing.
Well, tell me a little bit about the children. I mean, what do you notice about them?
Just how loving, how much they take to love. How loving they are considering the circumstances, how optimistic they are, how appreciative they are, you know, and then how much they just glow from within. And how, I mean, I would be there sometimes with, you know, I'd spend time with maybe 150 kids and like almost all of them hanging on my clothes. Meaning that I'd have a trail. You know, you'd see me going that way, and then you'd see just like right behind me. And you know, and you're just you want to take them all home. You're like, that's it. You're amazing. They're amazing and just so brilliant and bright and beautiful. Just beautiful, and you just go black and beautiful.
Oh my gosh!
You're just sitting
touching.
there, yeah. You know what I mean? And there's this most beautiful skin and teeth and smile and just so special. Yeah. That's the only thing I can say is that it just it just overwhelmed me every time I'm there. Every time you go. I'm surprised and not surprised. You know.
Do you go to the same place each time?
No, a little bit because a couple of orphanages are like in the same areas that are needed. But yeah, I mean, you start to build a relationship with some kids.
Oh, I know. Isn't that tough?
Yeah, and then my daughter goes, don't you dare.
Adopt them.
No. She's like, don't you dare. Don't you dare bring a child home.
I know, that's what I'm
like, you're so spoiled.
Because I can feel it. It's like, I'll be like, I want to take all these right here.
Yeah.
You know, you can't help it. It's like.
Yeah, she's like, don't you dare, Mom. I swear. And so one day I called her up. I was there and I'm like, hi, honey. I said, listen, I adopted something. And she's like, I'm not talking to you right now. And I'm like, she's so spoiled. She's like, no, you're my mom.
She's the only child. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I was like trying to trick her and she was like, no.
It's like, Mom. That's so
don't do it. But no, I mean, you want to, but they're just incredible. They're just smart. And the thing is that when I say they're smart, it's not that we're not smart here. But a lot of our smartness we just take for granted, meaning like they're like, they try to educate themselves beyond. And here it's like, oh, do I have to go to school? My point is they're just like obsessed with going to school, with learning and broadening their mind, painting and reading. And I mean, they want to soar.
Right.
Whereas our kids are like, yeah, okay.
They're taking advantage.
Yeah, they're like, I go to, like, I'll go to school. Right. You know, they're like, I'm going to school and I'm gonna be a scientist, you know, I'm gonna be this and I'm gonna be that, you know. So it's really great.
Oh gosh, we need to really like tape some of that when you go over there.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Bring it back so people can really feel the parts of who they are and what they experience.
I have some tape.
Oh gosh, you gotta show some. Oh, that's excellent.
You should see me get down too.
Oh, I know you got them moves.
I got the moves,
got those moves, you know.
Yes.
Definitely want to see that.
You know, that's the best part, the dancing. Okay. The dancing in Africa is great.
I love it. But and it's beautiful that you went over there and you're doing several charities. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of those.
Well, I mean, I always try to work with children. I mean, I think children are obviously they're our future. So I've worked with Inner City Arts Program. You know, it's downtown Los Angeles. The arts program, which provides, school and art and listen, the kids on Skid Row need something. And these kids wind up getting education from like 5 to 18, okay, with campuses in downtown LA. And so I do that. We do a thing called Tables for 10. which is at the Pacific Design Center, and they pair like a top restaurant with a top designer, and that's what we do. And we just basically, it's $10,000 a table, and we do it every year.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really great. And then, like I said, I work with March to the Top, and the children there. And I do everything when I go to Africa. I mean, I buy farm animals.
Oh, really?
Like, oh, yeah.
Well, now what you buying up there?
Okay, you want to know?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So the most important thing in Africa when you are dealing with like the orphanages and the schools and stuff is, and children that, you know, because it's your farm, like it's livestock.
Right.
That's so important. Goat's milk.
Oh, that's the best
Yeah,
milk.
they need goat's milk.
Yes,
they need cows. They need
yes.
chickens.
Yes.
They need bunnies. They need rabbit. They need all of that. And, you know, sometimes you got to go purchase it.
Right.
Okay. In a Subaru.
In the Subaru. Okay.
No, really, I swear. I bought some baby goats and had to stuff them in the back of the Subaru. And we're driving the Subaru, and the goats are eating the back of the seat, because you know goats eat everything.
Oh my God!
Okay, and you should see me stuffing the goats at the stop.
Oh God!
Yeah, so I mean, you do everything. The farm animals are very important. Is my point. And then you adopt animals too. It's like you buy cows and things because that's the things that they need, the basics. Oh yeah, you need eggs. You know, like they don't eat. No, there's no fast food. Running around the jungle, like
that's the way we really do.
Yeah, I mean, they eat off the land, so it's important to get.
And that's how it was from the beginning. To eat off the land. I love
so it's important to get those things, and there is like a store in Africa, especially in Kenya, called Nakimat, and Nakimat. You can buy like a tractor and like really nice underwear in the same store. Like serious? You can buy everything.
What in one store?
It's called Nakimat. It's like a better Target,
but
it's huge, and you could literally like buy like a tractor, a shovel, underwear, and a tank top, and then some spaghetti.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's like crazy. I love this place. Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, so you have to go nowhere.
I love Nakimat. Like I was like, let's go there. Nakimat. You know, yeah, it's like the Target there, and it's amazing. Yeah,
nice.
But yeah, it's just mainly supplying like farm animals and computers and things like that. You know.
And how's the computer thing over there? I mean, where you
great.
Get on really good. Okay.
Well, not everywhere, but once we touch base, you know, you have to touch base somewhere finally, and you know, and you can't carry a lot of luggage. Like, you know, I like luggage.
Yeah, trust me.
You know, I'm not a life hacker now.
She's like, I went to the nuns, but I sure
no.
Listen,
I literally had a suitcase this big. Okay, so here, this big, for like 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
I had to pack smart.
Oh yeah,
I did
learn how to pack smart.
It was just I thought it'll never make it. I'll never make it, and I did. Yeah. You just wear things over and over, and you're not there to be cute.
You had to go to the laundromat.
No, you just didn't.
Wash. There you go. See. Yeah. There you go.
Like I said, it was not luxury.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do Africa luxury, which is wonderful, but. This was not luxury.
But it's good to go from luxury and be able to adapt.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you're there for. I mean, that's what's the point, you know.
That's awesome.
You know, spend money on a luxury suite. Well, there's no poor people in the luxury suite. I mean, I'm saying like, what are you doing? I mean, it's just that's a vacation.
Right, a vacation.
But a mission is a mission.
A mission is a mission. And oh my gosh, Baroness Monica Newman.
Yes.
I mean, is there any like last words you would like to tell everybody?
Let's see. Yes, there are some last words.
Yes.
Appreciate each other. Okay, because you just never know. Right. You know, don't forget to tell your loved ones you love them every single day.
Yes.
Appreciate your children. As long as you keep peace within and have good people around you, we'll get through this crazy time, because we are in a crazy time right now, and it's really scary. And it makes us all like weary and sad. But there's some really good people on the planet, and we're all good people, and you're a good person, and you're doing something really good and positive. And I say, just, you know, hold your loved ones close.
Yes.
And dear, and just know, I mean, don't take them for granted.
Yes, that is excellent words of wisdom.
Yeah, don't take them for granted. No.
Oh my God, I'm just so excited. This whole interview was just so like exciting.
It's fun
and
for me.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
So
are you.
Grateful.
You're
so
great.
Grateful. Can I have a?
Yes.
All right.
Give me
Thank
a hug.
you. Mwah.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
it was really my pleasure.
Thank you for being
Bye,
with us.
guys.
Yes. I just want to let you guys know, thank you for rocking with Zion and the beautiful Monica. She was wonderful. And let me tell you, I'm going to ask her to come back. She has to come back because she has so many things to talk about and to share. So again, thank you for rocking with Zion, because you know there's only one way to rock.
Yes.
All right. See ya. Ciao, ciao.